Apocalypse meal kit from Costco, a billionaire buys a dinosaur skeleton, and insane housing prices. Today, I read an article on foxbusiness.com written by Sydney Borchers, titled, Costco Goes Viral for Apocalypse Dinner Kit That Could Last Up to 25 Years. According to the author, Costco is grabbing attention on social media after an Instagram user came across a product that could possibly come in handy at any time, including an apocalypse. The author is talking about the ReadyWise 150 serving emergency food bucket available at Costco. This includes 80 servings of hearty entrees and sides, 30 servings for breakfast, and 40 drink servings. This has a shelf life of 25 years. These are all freeze-dried meals that are activated by water. Here are my thoughts. It may not be a bad idea to have a stockpile of emergency supplies even if we don't experience some type of apocalypse. About 20 years ago, I experienced a bad ice storm that brought down power lines all over the city. I was without power for almost a week. Fortunately, I had a gas stove, a wood-burning fireplace, and a propane heater. I also had a generator for electrical power. In addition to that, I had a 4x4 truck at the time, so I could navigate through sections of road that had large limbs on them. A lot of people here in America are not prepared for emergency situations. They don't have a stockpile of food and water. They don't have matches, batteries, medical supplies, a generator, or even a flashlight. Then there are others who take matters more seriously. Some are on YouTube encouraging people to get training, food, water, a stockpile of gold and silver, and plenty of ammo. In terms of these ReadyWise emergency food buckets, I think it is an interesting concept. I visited the Costco website, and this costs $79.99 with $20 off from the manufacturer until July 28th while supplies last. I read another interesting story today about a creature that didn't survive an apocalypse in the past. This article was on foxbusiness.com, written by Aislinn Murphy, titled, Citadel CEO Ken Griffin paid nearly $45 million for a dinosaur skeleton at auction. According to the author, a massive Stegosaurus skeleton hit the auction block this week, and Citadel CEO Ken Griffin scooped it up with a $44.6 million winning bid. The 27-foot-long, virtually complete dinosaur fossil called Apex had gone under the hammer Wednesday as part of a larger natural history-focused auction held by Sotheby's. Here are my thoughts. Not too many people own a real dinosaur skeleton. He certainly paid a lot of money for it, but it is one of a kind. When you think about how scarcity makes collectibles valuable, this concept certainly applies here. You are going to have a hard time finding a nearly complete Stegosaurus skeleton in good condition for sale. I have to wonder who the other bidder was that ran him up to $44.6 million. It's not like there are too many people who have that kind of money to buy a dinosaur skeleton. I talked to a guy who once donated a lot of money to a museum for a dinosaur exhibit, and to thank him, they provided him with a cast of a T-Rex skull. That was just a cast though. I was at an auction once where they had several megalodon teeth. That is a prehistoric shark that was multiple times larger than a great white. They even made 2 Hollywood movies about that shark called The Meg and The Meg 2. You can buy megalodon teeth for a couple $100, or you could get lucky and find one on the beach. When I was younger, I visited the Field Museum of Natural History in Chicago, Illinois, and enjoyed looking at all of the dinosaur skeletons. I also enjoyed looking at all of the taxidermy specimens. They have 2 man-eating lions that came from Savo in Africa that had killed railway workers that were building a bridge for the British Empire. They also have some very rare condors and some narwhals. If you've never been there, it's worth checking it out. You can then go down the street to the Science and Industry Museum and see a German U-boat and go on a coal mine ride. You ride down an elevator and get to ride on an old train underground and see how people mined coal. They really are two exceptional museums. What's interesting is the Science and Industry Museum is now called the Kenneth C. Griffin Museum of Science and Industry because he donated $125 million to the organization. If you've been to either of these museums, let me know what you thought about them in the comment section below. This next article was on foxbusiness.com, written by Megan Henney, entitled, "Housing Costs Have Nearly Doubled in Key Swing States Since 2020. The author referenced new findings from Redfin, which revealed that a combination of steep mortgage rates and elevated home prices has pushed the median monthly housing payment for homebuyers in swing states to an all-time high of $2,161, which is a 92% increase from the 2020 election. Home prices in those states have also skyrocketed over the past 4 years, climbing nearly 40% to a record high of $316,063. Here are my thoughts. You have to wonder why the Fed is even entertaining cutting rates this year. With inflation ravaging Americans, why not keep them elevated or raise them further? I was really shocked that they are deviating from their 2% inflation target that has supposedly been their goal in recent times. I always felt like they should have not stopped hiking rates. People feel like rates are too high now, but they aren't. This is more normal. It's just that people grew far too comfortable with artificially low interest rates. This has caused a lot of problems in the economy. I'm afraid there may be a lot of Americans who will struggle to afford a home in the future because of high prices, inventory levels, interest rates, and their ability to save for the down payment, closing costs, inspection, and appraisal. Some may have to remain renters and be at the mercy of their landlords in the event rent is adjusted upwards. On the topic of rent, this next article is interesting. I read this on foxbusiness.com, written by Daniela Genovese, titled, "Renters Still Paying $300 More Than Pre-Pandemic Levels." The author referenced a new Realtor.com report, which revealed that renters are still paying $300 more for housing than they did with pre-pandemic levels. The author indicated that some markets have seen rents surge by as much as 40% above 2019's pre-pandemic levels, with Tampa, Florida seeing the largest growth over the past 5 years. The median asking price for rent in June in Tampa, Florida was $1,752, which is almost $500 higher than the pre-pandemic. Here are my thoughts. I'm shocked it was this low. I would have thought it would have been much higher. Get on apartments.com sometime and look at rent for a studio or one-bedroom apartment in your area. Even in some less than desirable areas of the country, rent is still expensive. When you look at those prices, understand that it's often not all-inclusive. You may still need to pay for parking, mandatory concierge trash, and utilities. Most places also require a pretty significant renter's insurance policy before you can move in. I feel bad for those who are retired and are renters. Some have seen their rent go up faster than their cost of living adjustments provided by Social Security. Do you know people who have had this happen? If so, tell me about them in the comment section below. Please keep in mind that everything in this video is for entertainment purposes only, and nothing in this video is financial advice or advice of any kind. If you need advice, seek advice from a qualified professional in good standing who puts your interests first and foremost. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to the channel. Please also consider sharing this video with your friends. I want to extend a special thanks to everyone who has subscribed to this channel. I want to also thank all of my channel members. If you would like to become a channel member, there is a link in the description beneath this video. You can read more about the different membership levels. Please also check out some of the great books that I suggest you consider reading in the description below. I've included Amazon affiliate links to these books. As an Amazon associate, I earn from qualifying purchases. Stay healthy and wealthy. I'll see everyone in the next video.